My father-in-law and I did this in the bedroom. When I first married Daniel, I never imagined that his family would become such a complicated part of my life. I knew every marriage comes with its challenges, but I thought love would make things easier. What I didn't expect was that his father, Richard, would end up being at the center of one of the most unforgettable nights of my life, something that happened in the bedroom, something that still makes my voice shake when I talk about it. Daniel and I had only been married for 6 months when his father came to live with us. Richard was a tall man in his early 60s with a serious face that could look intimidating, but his eyes always carried a kind of sadness. My husband told me that after his mother passed away 2 years ago, Richard hadn't been the same. He lived alone in the big family house, surrounded by silence, and Daniel couldn't stand seeing him like that. So, naturally, he invited him to move into our place until he found his footing again. At first, I didn't mind. I thought it would be good for Richard to be surrounded by family, to eat dinner with us, to hear laughter again. But as the weeks went by, I noticed things, strange things. Richard was quiet, almost too quiet. He rarely left his room, except late at night when I'd hear his footsteps pacing down the hall. Sometimes, I'd find the bedroom door slightly open, as if he wanted someone to come in but didn't know how to ask. One evening, after Daniel had left for a late business trip, I heard something coming from Richard's room. It wasn't footsteps this time. It was a sound, low, broken, almost like a cry. My heart sank. I stood there in the hallway, unsure whether I should knock or pretend I hadn't heard anything. But something inside me couldn't ignore it. So, I pushed the door gently and stepped into the bedroom. There he was, sitting on the edge of the bed, his hands pressed against his face. The room was dimly lit, the lamp casting a shadow over him. For a man who always tried to appear strong, seeing him like that, fragile, vulnerable, felt almost unbearable. "Richard?" I asked softly. He lifted his head, startled, and quickly wiped his eyes. "I'm fine, Emily. Don't worry about me." But he wasn't fine. His eyes were red, his hands trembling slightly. I walked closer and sat down beside him, the mattress sinking under our weight. "You don't look fine. You've been carrying so much on your own. Maybe it's time you let someone in." For a moment, he didn't speak. Then, in a voice so low I could barely hear it, he whispered, "I still see her, Emily. Every night, in this very room. Your mother-in-law. I see her, hear her voice, feel her beside me. And when I wake up, she's gone. The silence, it's killing me." I froze, realizing that what he was going through wasn't just grief, but a haunting. His memories of his late wife followed him into every corner of that bedroom. And now, he was trapped in it. That night, we didn't just sit in silence. We talked. 4 hours. He told me about how he met her, how she used to hum while cooking, how she laughed at the simplest things, how empty the house had been without her. I listened, holding back my own tears, realizing that what I had stumbled into wasn't just sadness, it was the raw, unfiltered pain of a man who had loved deeply and lost more than he could bear. By the time the clock struck 2 in the morning, Richard leaned back against the headboard, his breathing calmer, his shoulders a little less tense. "Thank you," he said quietly. "For staying. For listening. I haven't been able to do this with anyone. Not even Daniel." And that was when I understood. What happened in the bedroom that night wasn't scandalous or inappropriate, it was human. It was 2 people, connected by family and circumstance, sharing grief, secrets, and healing in the quiet hours of the night. But what I didn't know was that this night would only be the beginning. Because the moment Daniel found out I had been in his father's bedroom, sitting there until morning, listening to him cry, everything changed.